And so they're under a tremendous disadvantage to these cult companies that have a limitless cash flow until they don't need it anymore because they dominate the market. And that's cartelism.
Before we dive in, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell.
If you take an example like Facebook, take Amazon, take many of these companies. They are cult companies. They were created with cult money, which was limitless. And so what happens is they are built up to become monopolies. And in their developmental period, they are allowed to lose loads of money. Look at Amazon, for goodness sake, loads of money year after year, phenomenal amounts of money, because they're building a monopoly. And so you then reach the point where you have your near monopoly and you start to make vast amounts of money. And at that point, you can start dictating the odds. You know, this is why suddenly, after we had a free internet, now YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google, etc., are involved in the most extreme hysterical censorship, which is simply digital book burning that the Nazis engaged in. And what you're doing is you have these companies being built up with CIA money in terms of Facebook, etc. And they are competing against other companies. You could call them genuinely capitalist companies that have entrepreneurs that are using their creativity. But those other companies they're competing with do have to watch the bottom line. They can't go on losing money year on year on year. And so they're under a tremendous disadvantage to these cult companies that have a limitless cash flow until they don't need it anymore because they dominate the market. And then what happens, and we've seen this with Facebook and so many others, is when other companies come along, they just buy them up. When the competition comes along, they buy them up and they take them over. And they basically have no competition in the end, worth the name. And that's cartelism. When you see groups within the same financial area, be they oil companies, be they social media companies, be they banks, whatever, moving as one unit to control the market. That's not capitalism. That's communism. That's centralization of control. And when you have your other cult-created organizations like PayPal and these other groups in the financial area, who then say to people who are competing against cult companies like Facebook or social media, when independent social media entrepreneurial people, proper capitalist people, if you like, start to build up non-censored social media platforms and non-censored video platforms, what happens is these cartel companies like PayPal and other payment companies come in and say, no, we're not going to work with you anymore. So you can't go on operating, because you can't operate without us, because we control this market, this payment market. So you've had it. And then you have the example with Parler, the social media company that came up. Because what they say, you see, this is the con. They say, oh, well, no, Facebook and Twitter, they should have the right to censor what they like because they're private companies. If you want to have no censorship, then start your own. And then you do start your own. And these cartel companies then come in and say, we're going to shut you down. So Amazon just shut Parler down. Because Amazon, people think, oh, Amazon's about ordering goods and they arrive in the post. But no, Amazon have a fantastic breadth of control of what they call the cloud and the whole computer server operation. It's massive, and therefore they can shut you down. And so what we've seen is more and more power in these various expressions of the economy being handed to fewer and fewer people, so they can not only dictate what goes on, they can stop any other genuinely capitalist competition from actually competing with them.
So let me know in the comments, what did you like? What didn't you like? What do you agree with? What do you not agree with? I would love your thoughts in the comments right now. We have a full, deep interview, the uncut, unedited version. So if you want to watch that, the link is below. So make sure you like the video, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to the Disruptive Entrepreneur channel. And remember this, if you don't risk anything, you risk everything.